Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Bits and Bridges. I'm your host, Lokesh, and today we are going to unpack a very important questions. Why do cyber breaches keep happening, and what can a CISO really do about it? Cybersecurity is not just a technical challenge anymore, it's a business and leadership challenge. And to guide us through this, we have a very special guest with us today, Sudhir Goel. Sudhir, sir, is an experienced IT professional with over 4 decades in this industry. Hats off to you, sir. He is a mechanical engineer from Delhi University and also he is a IIM Bangalore alumni. Sudhir worked with Infosys, Comsys, and Emphasis BFL as a part of his career journey. Having worked in senior leadership positions in India and abroad, Sudhir sensed and empathized with the helplessness felt by CISOs when faced with cybercriminal and cyber threats. He observed that spending millions on state-of-the-art cybersecurity product, services, and professional did not guarantee businesses the success, the cyber protection they sought. As an innovator, Sudhir decided to take action and started supporting the organizations. And his book, Cyber Vigilance: The Art of Staying Cyber Safe, the world's first on this topic, is the result of this drive. Welcome to the show, Sudhir sir. It's great and my pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Lokesh, for such a wonderful introduction. It's my pleasure to be here too and share whatever I can of my experience with your audience.
No,
So please
definitely,
fire away.
sir. Definitely, sir. Thank you so much again. Right. So since we know the topic, right, and it's like cyber breaches happens, what a CISO can do about them. I have some really, thought-provoking questions, right? And I think my audience also shares some of. And let us see that, like, how you can guide the professional aspirant, and in fact, some of the CISO who is also listening this. Let's, dive straight in there, right? Uh,
Sure. Let's do that.
Definitely. So, do this thing. Do you see more breaches caused by technology gaps or human behavior inside the organization? Whenever we see that, that organization, got breach and, huge amount of data got exploited, right? So where do you see that gap? It's technology, human, or behavior?
Actually, all of the above.
Huh.
And let me give you a little analogy.
Hmm.
Okay. When we are living in our own houses and we go out, we lock the doors.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
your house may have one door, two doors, five doors,
Hmm.
and you make sure that you have locked them. You make sure you have lashed the windows. What are you actually doing? You're making your house secure.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, the word is important. You're making it secure by putting the locks,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
right? But when you step out, you also tell your neighbors, hey, I'm going away for 2 days. And so your neighbors keep watch. In India, that's a common occurrence.
Hmm.
People
Hmm.
keep watch, they assist
Hmm.
each other. And if you're living in a gated community, then there is additional security already there,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So we are used to the model of security.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now let's go to the industry.
Hmm.
When we have an enterprise network, we are putting various locks in various places, which are called cybersecurity solutions, which we buy or we develop our own and put them in various places.
Hmm.
And then what happens is breaches still happen. In fact, if you look at these statistics, the number of breaches happening over the last several months has only increased. They have not decreased.
Hmm.
Okay. So some of you may think, you know what, we are a small company and
Hmm.
we don't have those budgets.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, what do? We will get hacked. No, that is wrong. If you look up the data again, all the big companies, all the so-called trillion-dollar companies have been hacked.
Hmm.
Nvidia, first $1 trillion, $4 trillion company, has been hacked.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, Microsoft hacked,
Hmm.
Cisco hacked, IBM hacked,
Hmm.
Google hacked,
Hmm.
Cisco, you name it, that company has been hacked.
Hmm.
Now, if you are implying that these people did not spend the adequate amount of money
Hmm.
on their cyber safety,
Hmm.
well, I don't think that is true because
Hmm.
they have the money, they have the capability of attracting the best manpower in the
Hmm.
industry to work for them.
Hmm.
And therefore, uh, with that kind of ammunition, that is the money to spend on cybersecurity products,
Mhm.
best people to work on cybersecurity departments,
Mhm.
yet they are getting. So,
Hmm.
what is the reason? Why
Hmm.
are they getting hacked?
Hmm.
Reason they are getting hacked is because
Hmm.
you have to understand this. This is a very important factor.
Hmm.
Breach points, which are also called entry points,
Mhm.
always exist in the network. They may not be known to the cybersecurity team, but
Mhm.
they exist. They very much exist.
Mhm.
The only thing a hacker does
Hmm.
is locate a breach point and enter from there. That's about all. Like I'll give you an example, 3 year
Mhm.
old, 2.5 year old example.
Mhm.
IBM had an application which they were providing, maintaining medical records for an organization in the United States,
Mhm.
and they were hacked.
Hmm.
Some huge number of 10 million records were stolen by the hacker.
Mhm.
I was giving a seminar at that time in the United States to the IEEE,
Mhm.
and one of the members whose data was hacked was sitting in the audience.
Mhm.
He was listening to me. And therefore, it was a very personal experience for that person. He said, look, I got hacked.
Wow.
Now, okay, now who would imagine that
Hmm.
IBM
Hmm.
have a product which has breach points?
Wow.
I wouldn't. I would think
Mhm.
IBM, being the kind of money muscle and the people muscle that it has, should be
Mhm.
able to have a product which is not hackable. But that
Mhm.
is not true.
Hmm.
What had happened was they were using a file transfer API,
Hmm.
which was used to transfer medical records from one organization to another, file transfer. And that file transfer, which was a third party product, had a flaw.
Mhm.
Hackers located it, entered through this. Now
Wow.
imagine the IBM development team
Hmm.
did not check for that flaw. When they were doing their own due diligence, they did not check for that possible breach point and they
Hmm.
got hacked. Now, I'm just showing you a
Hmm.
very extreme example,
Hmm.
but in the same way, all enterprise networks have breach points. Hackers cannot create a new breach point
Mhm.
and enter your space. That is not possible. That is shown only in movies and science fiction.
Mhm.
It's not possible.
So
So,
I
does
think
that
that's
answer the question?
no, definitely. That's a very strong point that you have just brought out, by giving that it's sort of a very classic example, right? Right. So when we know that breaches are going to happen, despite or regardless you put any technology, right? So don't CISOs or the chief information security officer know this, right? And if they know, so that breaches is case of knowing but not acting, or are there structural challenges holding CISOs back, right? What do you think there, right?
Actually, like I said, both.
Hmm.
You see,
Hmm.
there are different kinds of CISOs.
Hmm. Hmm.
There are CISOs who are, very empowered by their organizations to take action,
Hmm.
and there are CISOs who aren't empowered by their organizations to take
Hmm.
action. Okay, I'm making an assumption here that technically most CISOs have the desire to protect their organization and have the knowledge to protect their
Hmm.
organization, but
Hmm.
some are able to because the immense support the organizations give them, and the others, not because they don't get support, are not able to protect. Right now, let's step back for a moment. CISOs know very well that there are breaches that they can't do anything about. Let me give you an example. You and I both are using Windows operating system.
Hmm. Hmm.
Windows operating system has hundreds of vulnerabilities, and
Hundreds
these
of
are on
them.
record.
Hmm.
There is a website called
Hmm.
nvd.org.
Hmm.
It's a national vulnerability database managed by the university in United States, a
Hmm.
free access database. You can
Hmm.
go there, put in the name of your software and hardware, and it'll tell you whatever people have found. It's a publicly researched database. So if you find a vulnerability, you will report it there, and somebody else finds it, they'll report it there, and that's a huge collection. And that collection in itself is humongous.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Now we know that Windows has a vulnerability.
Hmm. Hmm.
Can you and I or any CISO do anything about it?
Hmm.
Absolutely not.
Hmm.
Nobody would listen to them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there are some kind of breach points which
Hmm.
CISOs are aware and they can't do anything about. But there are
Hmm.
several that they can find out
Hmm.
and do something about.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And that is where the tenets of cyber vigilance creep in.
Hmm.
So it is not that they don't know; they very much know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But you know, and now let's take another point of view. This is
Hmm.
a very interesting research.
Hmm.
There is a research which has been consistently be published by IBM.
Mhm.
It's called Cost of a Data Breach Report.
Mhm.
For the last 5 years, they have been publishing a very, very important statistics in that report. I have not
Mhm.
seen this year's,
Mhm.
but I guess the report would be consistent. They have said, now you will be shocked at this. They have found that it takes on an average of 7 months for an organization to find out that they have been hacked.
It is huge. 7 months, man.
7 months average. There's not the maximum, there's not the
Mm.
minimum. Average 210 days
Mm.
for an organization to find out they have been hacked.
Mm.
That means there is a hacker who has access to your system for the last 7 months. Can you imagine the kind of disaster they can do to your system?
My goodness. So when I say, I mean, we have EDR, we have the every, the next generation, security control in place. But when you say 7 month organization takes, I mean, all these security controls, tools, platform are gimmick in that case.
They are not
Can I
working.
say that?
They are working. No, I'm
Hmm.
sorry about that. Let me tell you that. They are working. Let me break away a little bit and give you an analogy from the healthcare industry,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? If you fall sick, you go to the doctor and you get a medicine,
Hmm.
or if it's more severe, you get an operation, surgery, procedure, and you
Hmm.
come back, you are cured, right?
Hmm.
Now, if I, that means you have a good belief that, healthcare works. Yes,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
works. Even I say that. But does that mean that if I go to a pharmacy and say, give me one dose of all your medicines and I
Hmm.
will eat them right now,
Hmm.
that I will stop having any diseases in future? Will that work for me? No,
No, not
because
at
all
all.
these medicines have been created for a specific disease,
Hmm.
for a specific symptom.
Hmm.
Cybersecurity products have similarly been created
Hmm.
to for a particular threat vector. It may be an access threat vector, it could be encryption, it could be something else.
Hmm.
But each cybersecurity product has been created to address one or maybe associated two, three threat vectors, not
Threat
all,
vectors, you're right.
right?
Hmm.
So other threat vectors, which I'm calling entry points, are available to the hackers, and they can enter from there. Okay, and that is the sole reason that hackers, when they attack, their work is always unexpected. It's a surprise. Oh my God, where did they come from? Well, they had so many open doors.
Hmm.
If you leave an open door in your house, somebody will enter.
Absolutely. They will never leave, right? People are just there to, seek the opportunity where they can find the open door, and they are just coming in.
Yes, and see, there's one more. This is a mental issue.
Hmm.
If you hear the statement in your own organization,
Hmm. Hmm.
Lokesh, we have cybersecurity.
Hmm. Hmm.
What will you feel? Tell me.
No, definitely, the moment I will say and I hear that we have cybersecurity, I would say that will give a sense of relief and security to the people that at least we are safe.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So, by naming this industry cybersecurity, has caused this sense of complacency.
Hmm.
Organizations believe they have spent $100 million on cybersecurity, so they
Hmm.
have cybersecurity.
Right.
Guess what? They have cybersecurity in certain areas.
Hmm. Hmm.
Certain entry points have been blocked.
Hmm. Hmm.
But does it say that all entry points have been blocked? You ask any CISO, there are roughly about 70 odd categories of cybersecurity solutions.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. If you ask a CISO, look, here is unlimited money for you,
Hmm.
you install everything that you want. But tell me, can you guaranteedly say that after this there will be no hacks?
Not
No
at
CISO
all.
will agree. He'll say,
Not
no.
at
How
all.
can we say
Not
that?
at all. Not
Why?
at all.
The reason is because they are closing certain breach points. They are closing certain threat vectors.
Mhm,
They are not closing. There is no attempt, first of all,
mhm,
Lokesh, to find where are these breach points. The cyber vigilance process says, yes, you have a problem. Let's find out where is the problem. Where are the breach points?
mhm,
It's a methodical, boring, long process, but it has to be done. Just like when you are sick, you go for a pathological examination.
mhm,
Before taking injections, medicine, doctor does a lot of pathological examinations, find out what is wrong with you.
mhm,
Cyber vigilance attempts to do that by finding where are these open points which have not been addressed. And these could address over 5 pillars: hardware, software, network, people, and data. So any of these 5 elements in an enterprise network can have an entry point, which may have been overlooked. Like, I'll give you a very simple example. I was talking to a CISO, and from a large company, and he was saying, I need some quick fix. We are not, we are getting a lot of attacks. So I told him one very simple thing. You try, you'll get an immediate relief in few days. Okay. Because in a meeting, in a seminar, you can't give the whole theory to them, right? I said, do one small thing. You are a large organization. You have many hardware elements in your organization. Can you make sure that the configuration of all these hardware elements is correct? There's no misconfiguration in any of these elements. But that will require effort, sir. I said, yes. But if there's a misconfiguration, then that is an entry point. By finding it and correcting it, you have blocked one more entry point. So later on, I found out he benefited a lot because, see, people are people. When they are configuring, let's say, a router or a switch or a server or something, if they make some error in configuring that piece of equipment, that will leave a hole open for the hacker to enter. You see what I'm saying? Cyber vigilance process, if they did it, would have gone through every single configuration of every single hardware equipment, checked it against what should have been. Is it the same? Correct it. If it's not, fix it. If it is, good, go to the next. Right? And that would then become a process that every time an important piece of equipment is to be configured, it has to be quality checked by one other person to make sure it is accurate, because the cost otherwise is very high. The cost of the mistake is very high. So the attempt of cyber vigilance is to find out what is the possible threat vector that can affect you.
No, I think that's a very interesting point, and I am amazed to uh, hear that very on the fly tips that you gave that to CISO, that just do one thing, go and check your configuration. I think that's a fantastic, right? When we work in cybersecurity, even when I work with my teams, right, we often forgot to focus on these smalls but very impactful step that can bring a lot of the changes to your threat posture, right, overall. With that, let's say to the next question, and that is related to the previous one. We know that CISO is aware that breaches is going to happen regardless of the controls and the tools that they are going to deploy, right? Then why don't the CISO conduct breaches risk audit very frequently or very often, to at least understand that how many doors they have open in their organization?
Okay, so now this is a very excellent question. This question I've been asked many times, and I will answer it in a way which may not, which all your audience may not very feel thrilled about, but CISOs will be happy because this is a reality. Okay, you have to understand, CISOs are finding a battle on two ends. On one end are their users, that is the employees of the company, who hate cybersecurity because my system has become slow. This is happening, that is happening. I'm not allowed to send an email. I can't put a USB stick because there are constraints CISOs will put on everyone, and people don't like them. And then on the other side, who is there? The CEO and the board of directors. You are spending too much money. And what is the problem? We have not been hacked. So why spend so much money? They forget that they have not been hacked because of the efforts of this person, not because God likes them or the hackers like them and say, okay, we will not hack you. You see where I'm coming from? Right. So there is a big gap. This gap exists primarily because at the very root cause, I will always talk about root cause. The boards are basically financial organizations. They are the financial departments who look for profitability and marketing and growth of the company. And to them, cybersecurity is merely a hygiene factor. It's not even an important enough department to justify it being the curriculum for an MBA course anywhere in the world. No MBA school and anywhere in the world includes cyber security management or cyber safety management as a curriculum. If you go to an MBA school, they will teach you marketing, they'll product management, inventory management, they will teach finance management, but nobody teaches cyber security management, and I wonder why. According to them, it's just a function, just like have security at the gate. To them, cyber security is a glorified version of the same, which is why they do not pay the adequate attention. This is the first part. The second part is there is a certain complacency that comes in
Hmm.
because people believe, oh, we have purchased cyber insurance. So what will happen? They will pay.
Hmm. Right.
And often that is true.
Hmm.
And so this unfortunately raises the tolerance of organizations towards cybercrime,
Mhm.
and it weakens the CISO's position
Hmm.
in getting better equipment, better processes. Things like cyber breach risk audit require time. They're not expensive because done internally. You can, of course, get an external person to do it, but your internal team, with a little help, can do it. But it requires time, and all audits are slightly process oriented and what I call boring.
Mhm.
So boards and others may not find that palatable. What are you guys doing? You're wasting the time.
Mhm.
And therefore, they get short, right? If you notice, this is a take one step further from here.
Mhm.
A study found that most organizations don't know how many hardware equipment do they have in their company.
You are absolutely right. So that's a very big problem in the organization,
How
right?
many computers, how many
Very big.
servers, how many printers, how
Uh-huh.
many routers, how many switches.
Uh-huh.
See what happens over the years, equipment keeps coming in, some is old and it is just removed, and so very day to day action is not taken to check what is gone, what is here, what is remaining, what is working, what is not working,
Mhm.
right? So when that is something which is very critical, is not managed well, why would you think they will do? Because that's an audit function actually. It's called a asset audit. Okay. Then why would they spend money on doing cyber breach risk audit, which could save them literally a lot of embarrassment and a lot of money? So that is the challenge CISOs typically
Uh-huh.
face.
Uh-huh. So a quick, follow-up to this, sir. So the CISOs avoid these risk audit just because of cost complexity, or it's like they are having that apprehension or fear of uncomfortable with uncovering those truths, right? A quick, answer,
Yeah,
anything?
see both, actually both. See what happens is when you do an audit and you're doing a self audit,
Uh-huh.
you are going to find places that you missed out.
Uh-huh.
You have done wrong.
Mm,
And who looks bad?
mm.
You look bad. So nobody wants to look bad,
Exactly.
right? Now, there are few CISOs who do it and they benefit from it.
Mhm.
But in this competitive world, no CISO wants to look bad. No board wants to look bad. So audits are considered, only tax audits are acceptable because they are mandatory. Even you can't escape them.
Mhm.
But all other audits, people try to avoid.
So I think that's a very burning, issue also. And next to that, we also know that human is the weakest link, right? Most of the breaches, most of the attack happens just because of the humans are not so greatly aware about technology, about new tools, and we are also hearing that AI is coming up and whatnot, right? Then why don't CISO ensure that every employee is trained to be cyber vigilant, right? Why don't they ensure that everyone is trained, everyone is aware that what is the safe and the right use of the technology and tools?
Excellent question.
Hmm.
And, it is obvious that they should, because,
Mhm.
right, most studies have found out 85% plus uh, hacks are made possible by human
Right,
errors. You
right.
click on a wrong link, you put a USB stick, in the computer, and hacker gets a door in.
Hmm.
Or if you misconfigure a router, a hacker gets a foot in.
Mhm.
Despite such obvious nature, people don't do this.
Mhm.
Again, primarily because of cost. And there is a lot of pushback from functional managers
Mhm.
who believe that we are not a CIA or a research and analysis wing that we have to act like a secret service.
Mhm.
And why should we be trained like this? It is their job and not our job to keep things secure. They forget that one single click of one of their team members can destroy the entire effort for a full year in just one click.
Mhm.
But this is the truth. Functional managers resist this. Now, if this is made a mandate that starting from the time the advertisement is released,
Mhm.
you will write as a part of the job description. It's important. We believe in cyber safety, and it is important that the candidate must be willing to undertake training provided by us to become cyber vigilant and cyber safe. And then you do the selection. If somebody's already done the training, you give them preference over those who don't. Similarly, appraisals, you have checked their business performance, you can check their cyber performance to see, have they clicked on wrong links, have they visited shady sites, have they tried to access areas which they are not supposed to access, and based on that, give them a ranking. And today, fortunately, tools are available to do this, but despite this, uh, the people who push back most are functional managers. And then who does this training? Theoretically, HR should be the one who should be handling it, but except
Right.
in today's context, HR has become merely a recruiting agency for organization, recruiting and appraising. They do not typically work in any culture changing movement for their organization. If they did, then our organization, would be very safe. We are in Karnataka. We are in the IT hub of the world, right? And if IT companies in Karnataka started, this could be a move. Every company would start making sure that all their employees are trained to be a little safer. It's not that suddenly this hacks will reduce to zero, but slowly people will start becoming aware. There will be fewer hacks in the office. The side part of that would be there'll be fewer hacks in the personal life. People are getting cheated out of a lot of money individually. Because if you're cyber aware, then you will not get cheated there as well. It is a wonderful thing if that could be done.
No, I think this is a great conversation so far, right? So we started discussing that why CISO and why breaches happen, what a CISO can do about that, right? Why a CISO cannot make everyone, cyber trained, and what are those, the challenges a CISO may is basically facing to, close all the door, right? So we have, discussed all this, right? So to move further, right, so you say, right, any concluding remark do you feel that, uh, see, breaches will always happen, right? CISO and new technology tools will always come. CISO will make, changes to their strategy, their policy, their tech stack and whatnot, right? So what do you feel that a piece of advice to the audience, to the CISO and to the organization, right? Uh, that from today, or let's say tomorrow morning, what they should be doing, right, in terms of closing one door to avoid that breaches? What would be that one
Yeah,
piece of advice?
certainly. That's a see. One piece of advice I would give to everyone is be vigilant, cyber vigilant.
Mhm,
Assume, and it is a slightly suspicious mindset to have, but being alert is not harmful.
mhm,
If you are alert to the fact that despite whatever you have done so far,
mhm,
despite having wonderful team that you have,
mhm,
that there could be chances of a hack happening,
mhm,
then there are chances that you will take corrective steps to make sure those that probability reduces. Right?
mhm,
And if budgets are a constraint, then you will make sure that you try hard to get those budgets for training people
mhm,
or get those allocations to getting additional equipment installed.
mhm.
Right? So vigilance is a mindset. If people start adopting, I will I can tell you that the number of breaches will slowly reduce. Because if all of us are vigilant, then where will the hacker come in from?
Awesome, sir. So, with this, Sudhir sir, thank you so much again. And this has been a really eye-opening conversation, I would say. And truly, I mean, I have got a lot of insight, which surely I'm going to back with my team and leadership and going to discuss that how we can also implement all those, strategy and the guidelines. Uh, my audience, who is listening, whether you are a CISO leadership position, you are a early stage security professional, or just curious listener, must have got some powerful insight into why breaches still happens and what leadership can do to prevent them, right? Before we wrap up, where can our listeners connect with you or follow your work or you?
I am on LinkedIn. There is a group called Cyber Vigilance Group, and they are welcome to connect with me there. And I'd be happy to take messages from them and answer them, support them. And if they need training on these two, we offer training on cyber breach risk audit. We also offer training for HR to make every employee of their organizations, cyber vigilant. And so those are two formal trainings we offer. I'd be happy to share information with any of your audience at any time. And thank you
Perfect.
very much for having me here and giving me an opportunity to explain how we can stop cyber breaches. And I hope if even one or two people are able to stop cyber breaches in their organizations, your and my effort has been successful.
Truly, truly, sir, truly. The perfect, sir. Thank you again, Sudhir sir, for sharing your expertise. Thanks to all of you for tuning into this episode 3 of Bits and Breaches. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming episode. Until next time, stay safe, stay secure. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.